This video is going to show you how to program a flashing yellow arrow mode C on a Reno MMU2-1600GE. As with most or all of the FYA modes or flashing yellow arrow modes, this feature allows you to make a turning movement permitted or protected permissive at any time. The mode C is the legacy FYA C mode that was a part of the Type 12 cabinet or a TS1 cabinet. The Mode C provides straightforward assignment requests between two load switches and the two MMU2 channels, so there is no remapping. You also can do time of day flash, all yellow signals is permitted, and startup in all yellow signal and permitted, so that's allowed also. When you look at the mode C, what you're going to be doing is channels 1, 3, 5, and 7 is where you're going to have your red, yellow, and flashing yellow arrow. 9, 10, 11, and 12 is where you're going to be putting your protected left turn arrow or green arrow. If you notice down here, we on our terminal bus, we have channels, the greens are on red 9, 10, 11, and 12, and on 1, 3, 5, and 7 we're doing the all red, or the red arrow, the yellow arrow, and the flashing yellow arrow. So now we're going to go ahead and go right to the monitor. So we're here with our monitor. What I'm going to do is go ahead and hit the enter button. That gets us into the main menu. I'm going to go down to configuration settings. Then I'm going to go to default monitor settings. And here, if you notice up here, it is locked, meaning that you can't make any changes, or if you do, this is where you can just look at your setups and your settings, but you can't change it. You would have to start changes. But what I always like to do is go clear all. This gets you back to a factory setting. I go yes. And then I'm going to go ahead, and if you notice it's still locked, but once I go ahead and hit start changes and say yes, now it's unlocked, and I'm going to work my way over to the wizard. Now that I have the wizard, I'm going to go ahead and say yes, and it tells you what's going on. It's going to be calibrating and calculating and changing parameters per your programming. So here I'm going ahead and put in an LED head, meaning that I have LED heads in my field. In this case, my PEDs are on 13, 14, 15, and 16. So I'm going to change that to 13, 14, 15, and 16. It asks you, do you want to tie the red PED heads high, the don't walks? I'm going to say no, because I want to monitor the don't walk heads. The watchdog I also want to be in its normal function, so I'm going to say no to that. And then I'm working down to the left turn configuration. I'm going to go ahead and go mode MMU2 mode, and I'm going to hit enter. And here you notice there's the C, but if you move across you can see all the different configurations, and what we're working our way towards is the C. So there's the A, and here's C. And if you notice with C, our protecteds are on 9, 10, 11, and 12, and our walk or our flashing yellow arrow and red and yellow are on 1, 3, 5, and 7. I'm going to go ahead and say yes to this. Then it's going to ask you, do you want the yellow to occur with the opposing yellow? And I'm going to say yes to that. I'm not going to do the easy program card. I always like to say no, and I want to use the program card that you can interchange between any type of monitor. Ignore the flashing yellow unused if you want to ignore left turn movements so that you're not monitoring. I usually leave that on no. We do want to do yellow trap, so we're going to keep that at no, because if you say yes, you're going to ignore it. And the rate, we're going to make sure that it goes on half a second, off half a second. So we're going to leave that at no. And then we're going to hit enter, and it tells us we're almost done. We still have to change the mode, and now if you notice, it's instead of saying unlocked, it says we have made a mode change. And for us to implement that, we have to come in here and say save. We hit our save, say yes, and we have now successfully programmed this monitor for a flashing yellow arrow mode C. You still have to do your permissives, and, or I'm sorry, your conflicts and your program card before you put out in the field. But if you have any questions, contact us at support@editraffic.com or call the hotline 602-396-1284.